What would you say are the most important criteria for actually putting a book review together? What things do you like always try to include, regardless of what the book is, or does it change depending on the genre?
No, I have a template that I use. So I always have a picture of the book. I always put in the synopsis that I get from the bookstore company or from Amazon if it's on there. And I always try and put a little intro. So what the main, sort of like a little review, like a little recap of how I thought of the book. So for instance, one of mine the other day was about a romance novel that was historical, and that's like my favorite. That's like my all-time favorite thing. So it was kind of like, oh, Scotland and pirates and a strong female character. I'm in. And that was kind of like the lead into the review. And then I put the synopsis and then I put the review. So people can kind of see that you've got a hook to get people in reading it. Then you've got the synopsis so they know what they're actually reviewing. And then you've got the actual review where I say what was good and what was not so great, if the character's well developed, what could be improved, and a little 2 or 3 lines just about how I felt personally about the book.
When you're actually putting those things together, do you try to be as objective as possible and like pick it apart, almost like you're doing a literature degree or an assignment for a lit degree, should we say? Or do you include like your personal opinion and let that kind of lead the way, if you will?
I try and start with more like constructive kind of basis rather than it being my personal thoughts. I try and put my personal thoughts right at the end because nobody really cares what I thought of it. They kind of just want to know if they're going to read it. So I try and start with what it is and how it works and whether the plot works and whether there was, I've read probably about 60 books this year, and I would say about 30 of them had massive gaping plot holes. And you're just like, do I put that in my review or do I leave that out and hope that nobody else reads about the massive plot hole? Or there was somewhere I've really, really enjoyed them and I just kind of wax lyrical about them for probably far too long. And probably I've done one where I loved it. The author, we're still in touch, one of my favourite people, and I probably wrote about 300 words on a blog review, which I've never done since. That was all constructive though. There was a few personal bits at the end, but yeah, I kind of try and make sure that what I think personally doesn't come through as much, because what I might like, somebody else might not, and vice versa.